like, excuse me? Hi besties, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Simply Charmaine. Welcome back. It's a Sunday, guys. So you know what time it is? It's time for a story time. And this particular story is so juicy. You need to be like tuned in. You need to have subscribed. Guys, like I think of it, I thought of it today. I was like, okay, what story am I gonna tell my friends? And I was like, guys, I've been through it all. So when I was 22, this story happened like right before COVID. When did COVID happen, guys? It seems like it's just like it's been such a long time. Anyways, when I was 22, and I was still in the club hopping culture, the club going culture. I was going to the club like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday with my friends. We were a group of six. It was two girls and four boys, and we would go clubbing in and out. You know how it is. So because we were like regulars there, we would meet like other group of friends as well that would be like, yo, come chill with us, come hang with us, wada, you know how it is. So because of that, you end up knowing a lot of people, and then a lot of people know you. So this is what happened, honey. So let's call this guy, let's call him Koda. Right. He was a regular day. I knew him, my friends knew him. He was a chilled guy. He was like one of those guys who would see us if we get into the club. He'd be like, guys, do you want alcohol? He'll buy us like free stuff and whatever. And he was like such a chilled guy, because like he was one of those like those uncles that you would see in the bar all the time. So like we would see him, he would buy us alcohol, and sometimes he would get us like food or free stuff, and you would be like, you know you'd be like, okay. I never thought like he liked me like that. I never saw him like that. Wait, there's someone getting engaged. I was like, who's that? Whose man is that? Okay, I'm so thirsty. I'm not thirsty. Oh my god, if my man hears me saying that. But then I'm one of those people who get easily distracted. So I was distracted for a minute because I'm filming this like on my window or whatever, so I can see everything, because I can see everything that's downstairs and whatnot. So anyways, back to the story. So I knew this guy for a while, and we'd been like, I can safely say we were friends. At some point, we were added in the club group, like WhatsApp group. Guys, how much of an alcoholic do you need to be added to a club group? So in there were like the patrons, and people would make suggestions to management and tell them what they want if they're not happy with the service, etc. So this guy had got my number from there, and we used to talk. Like, he used to come visit me at the theater that I was working there. He'd be like, oh, do you have a show today? We're like, yeah, we do. Because always the plan with my friends was like, if we after a show, a play, we'd go clubbing if I'm performing, whatnot. So he would come and watch some of my plays. He was someone who was more of like an artsy person. You get it? So that was really just our interaction. Nothing ever happened. It was more of platonic, really. I think he sort of saw me like, one of those like your club sisters. I don't know, whatever. So anyway, so moving forward, COVID happened, and with COVID happened, it disrupted a lot of clubbing, and people didn't see each other for a long time. And even when after COVID, I think I had sort of changed even my circle of friends, or even just like my social activities. I was more introverted then. I don't know, maybe I just did not like, maybe I grew up, guys, because I used to go to the club almost like every single time. But now I was more of like your staying at home kind of girl, so one random day I was just like, guys, I miss my club friends, let's go there. So I went to Eclipse. It was so random, and I was there like at 10 p.m. I actually went to the club at 10 p.m. That's how random this thought was. I was in bed, I was like, I miss clubbing. And then boom, got a taxi, found myself there. So when I got there, because people will always remember you, people will like, where have you been? We thought, you went to SA. We thought you went to the UK, whatever. I'm like, guys, I'm still here. So I'm there. I'm just like, I'm seeing all these people, whatnot, right? And then Kuda comes up to me. He's like, hey, approved. I'm not doing marketing. What? And we start talking. He's like, oh, let me buy you a beer. I'm like, sure thing. And then he bought me a six pack, and then he went did his own thing. And then like he was doing his own thing, right? And then he was like, oh, after buying me the alcohol, then he was like, oh, he came back. I was like, oh, I lost your number. My company needs some marketing. Wow. I'm like, mm. I'm like, cool, whatever. I'm taking like side hustles, and I'm like, whatever, cool, let's do it. Then he was like, let me call you. I don't have your number. So I was like, my phone is dead. So it was like, at first he was like, let me give you my number. At first he was like, let me give you my number. And then I was like, no, my phone is dead. Because I'm like one of those people who doesn't switch up her phone like in a club or whatever. Because I'm just afraid of, if it being snatched. I've had stories, especially in that club, guys, Banana Biro. So I was like, nope, you call me. So the guy called me, like buzzed my call, and then whatever. Then I clapped, and then afterwards I went back home, proper. In the morning, I'm there with my hangover. I'm there thinking, regretting. I'm like, why did I even go to that club anyways? And I'm just regretting my life. Don't I receive a call from Kuda? I'm like, okay, he's calling me on a Sunday. Maybe he just wants to check up on me. So I put the phone on like loud because I don't like I answer my phone on loudspeaker. So I'm like, I put it on loud. Don't I hear a woman's voice? And this woman, she's like, were you with my husband last night? I was like, excuse me? She was like, were you with my husband last night? I'm like, who is this? And then she's like, oh, it's Kuda's wife. He didn't come home last night. He came back in the morning, and I went through his call log, and I saw that you were the last person that he called. So what she's saying is, I'm trying to make like, when you're not guilty, you will literally be dumbfounded. When you're guilty, you come up with easy, like you're like, hey, it's not me, whatever. I didn't even have any. I was just like shocked. I was like, what the fuck? This is happening, and then the worst thing happened is like I hear Kuda in the background. He's like banging on the door. I think the wife had took his phone and then locked herself in the room and then got the call logs and whatnot. So he's like banging, don't do that, hey, don't do that. Hey. I'm like, sis, I wasn't with your man. I saw him at the club yesterday. We're not even friends. I haven't seen him like in forever. He's just someone that I know at the club. She's like, you're lying. You slept with him. He didn't come home. Hey, he called you at 1 a.m. I was like, yes, bitch, he called me at 1 a.m. because I was in the club and he asked for my number because he said he wanted some marketing done. She did not she did not want to hear all of that. So anyways, after that, I'm like, you know what, sis, I think just let it go. Why was I saying just let it go? So what ended up happening is I think her airtime finished, and then that was it. And then 10 minutes later, I received another call. Doesn't this man call me? He apologizes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having issues with my wife. She thinks that I'm cheating on her. I'm like, dude, you need to sleep at home. You need to stay at home. Like, don't make your wife so insecure that she has to call random people, like asking them where you've been. Sleep at home. Love your wife. Be with your wife. What's going on? It's like, oh, we're having issues. Whatever. I'm like, cool, but don't involve me in it. So it's like, okay. Then he had the audacity to ask me, like, okay, so are you going clubbing today? Man will leave you in the desert without water, sis. I'm like, yeah, I might, I might not. Like, girls, I'm more introverted now. So he's like, no, I think you should go. I want to see you. I want to apologize in person. I'm like, whatever. So I don't go. It's a Sunday. I'm hungover, and I'm like seriously regretting. Like, why did I even go to the club? Like, look at what this cost me. Going back one time, and I'll have this like drama and scandals. So I don't go back. And then I think it's like 6 months later, I was like with one of my friends who had come back like Enzim, and we'd gone. She was like, "Oh, I want drinks, I want drinks, I want drinks." I was like, "Ah, there's only one club that I know." So we went there, and then I met Kuda. Like it was like a throwback, and I just started laughing. I'm like, "Man," and he's like telling me, "Oh no, I'm sorry about what happened. Can I buy you a six pack for you and your friend?" I was like, your wife was busy telling me how you're not coming home, bro, like 6 months ago, how you're not taking care of the family, and you're buying random people alcohol. Like, make it make sense. Have you fixed your house? Like, before you buy people alcohol, are you okay at home? And then instead of feeling guilty, it's like, no, we're okay now. We went for counseling. I'm like, my friend is like, hey, why are you being like this nice person? Let him buy us alcohol. Anyways, he bought us alcohol, and that was it. This is so crazy because I think I've had like two interactions like that when like a man's wife or significant other calls you and confronts you. The other one was really not so crazy because it wasn't actually my fault, and this one was actually my fault. It was just someone that I knew and then whatever. But it was so crazy because the interaction made me cringe, like made me feel like I don't want to go clubbing, I don't want to be subjected to this anymore, and this is not my kind of scene. That's basically all I said. I was like, this is not my kind of scene. Like, I'm not like a person, I'm the kind of person who's like chill. So because of this, I think that's the reason why I stopped going clubbing altogether. I don't go clubbing anymore. If you find me in a club, beat me, guys. Take a rope and spank me. I don't go clubbing anymore. I don't find the fun anymore. But I do drink. I still drink. I quit smoking. I used to be addicted to vaping. Like, I was struggling with vaping for a year. And then I just stopped. I guess it's the will to stop. I just stopped. I was just like, no. I woke up one morning and I was like, fuck this. Then stopped. So now I'm more introverted. That's the story, bestie. Okay, for the other one where I got confronted by a wife or significant other, that's like those are the two interactions that I've had. This was like roughly, this actually happened first. So what happened was, one random day I was going to town, and then, I was staying in Waterfalls back then, and transport is like an issue there. So I was walking to where I could get transport, and this car drives by, comes back, and they're like, "Oh, where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to town." They're like, "Can we give you a ride?" There were two guys in there, and I was like, "Cool." And I went by the back, I sat there, whatever. I was single back then, so the guys, they drive to Parktown, they buy their alcohol, they're like, "Do you drink?" I'm like, "No, cool, no, I'm going where I'm going." Like, I think I was going to some house party, whatever. And then they're like, "Oh, you don't want to drink?" I'm like, No, thank you. I wasn't interested like that. So the other guy who I was like sitting at the back with was like, "Can I have your number so that when you're coming back home, we can pick you up because transport is an issue, it's a nightmare, whatever." So I just gave him my number. I was like, fine, whatever. So I gave him my number, and then I go to town. They drop me off to town. I do what I'm doing, and then I went to the house party. Came back the next day, the following day, guys. Doesn't a random number, text me like on WhatsApp. It texted me and it had my profile picture. It had my profile picture. And I'm like, whatever, strange. So I'm not moved at this point. I'm like, whatever. And so like I reply, I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" Then the number's like, is this Charmaine? And I'm like, "Yeah, it's Charmaine. You literally have my picture on your WhatsApp DP." They're like, "Oh, okay. I wanted to ask you if you know my husband." Sissy, how do I know your husband? Which husband? I was literally like, which husband? And then she went on to explain, "Oh, he's like this," and then she sends a picture. I'm like, "Oh, sis, you're not, you don't stress yourself. I'm not interested in your husband. Your husband is not interested in me." Him and his friend gave me a ride yesterday, and they asked for my number. They were like, "Oh no, if you come back and you're in town, text us, whatever. We'll give you a ride. We'll be in town all throughout the night." And it's just like, "Oh, it kind of makes sense because I saw that you text." And you know what had happened? And he had texted me but I had not replied. Like, I think he had texted me and I was just like, I did not reply all of his messages. That was the saving grace, because she was like, I have a feeling you're telling me the truth because I went through his phone and saw that he texted you multiple times, and then I saw that you didn't reply, whatever, because there were one ticked messages, what. So I decided to text you. I took his phone. Hey. I'm like, hey, so how am I in your issues now? So she goes on to vent to me, guys. She vented to me. I think it was in 1 hour call. She's like, this man has been cheating on me. He impregnated like my maid. He slept with this girl who was next door. She's pregnant. I don't even know what to do with him. So like when I saw your number in like in my husband's phone, I just decided that I would use you to bait you, like I don't know, something like that, to find out if anything had happened, and to also warn you and tell you that Takawan, like there's so many of us, because he has other chicks or whatever whom he's impregnated, and I want to divorce him, and I think he's sick. She went on and on. I'm like just there listening. I'm like, okay, so you used my profile picture on your DP, and because you wanted to make your husband know that he gets numbers from random girls. Good for you, sis, whatever works. So she's just like, oh no, I'll remove your profile picture. I was like, no, sis, keep it. I mean, I was single then. I took it as a compliment, guys. I was like, you think I'm so pretty enough to take your man? You think that I'm so pretty enough for me to be on your DP, for the whole world to see what your man is doing to you? You think I'm that girl? I don't even think I'm that girl. So thank you so much, sis. Put it there. So she put the picture there for the whole day. I think she removed it like after 2 days or whatnot. But she'd given back her husband his phone. This nigga calls me. I'm like, block and delete. No, Satan, I'm not about to be confronted by your significant other. And then she called me some random day. I think it was like a week or later on. She was like, oh, me and my husband talked. So he's really sorry about, impregnating all those other girls. He's also sorry about taking your number with no intentions of, being a nice person. He most likely wanted to sleep with you. We're gonna pray about it. I'm just like, good for you, sis, and your marriage. It's so crazy, guys. I know, right? It's so. I have lots of stories, but this too. The reason why I don't give out my number to random people anyway. Before you know it, wives and girlfriends and sisters are calling me. I'm not even that pretty. I'm not even that beautiful for anyone to think that I might steal their person. If you make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. So yeah, that was it, guys. Super crazy, right? Well, thank you so much, guys, for listening and watching this entire video. I love you so much. I can't wait for our next story time next Sunday. Bye.